Hello, each and every one. It is such a blessed time to share this time together with each and every one with the Living Water Church of God Devotional. I am our Lord's King, and today we will share from the Lord's principles from Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. And the scripture reads, "And Jesus knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." When we look at this principle the Lord stated is in direct reference to the Pharisees' mindset, as well as the state of our mindset today, that where division exists, unity is absent, and the Lord's vision for anything that we strive to do would be non-existent if our vision for our lives isn't in alignment with the Lord's vision for our lives. And anytime our vision tries to supersede God's vision, then that spells the word trouble. We live in a world today where relationships amongst non-Christians as well as Christians are very much in serious trouble. And many people, we find the scripture talks about marrying and giving in marriage. Many people are infatuated with even the ideal of getting married and the formalities of preparing for the marriage ceremony. Yet because of the state of our mindset and what we have brought out of our childhood into our adulthood, many of us, we are married, but yet we do not have a marriage. And I'm talking about a marriage that is after the Lord's visions and God's intimacy. So, therefore, we are experiencing in this day and time a disintegration of our relationships, our families, marriages breaking up, our children becoming victims of separation, divorce, custody disputes and battles, and all of this is because the house is divided. You see, the Lord, He instructs us, let there be no divisions among you. When divisions are present, that means that two visions are trying to rule and lead the household or the family, which can cause us to clash with God, our Father, the Lord, which causes husband and wives to clash, as well as it causes children even to clash with their parents. I want you to think about this. The word die, D-I, the word die means twofold or double or radical. And radical is something that causes extreme change. When a division, which is two visions, is working in any relationship, radical extreme change will begin to affect the health and the growth and the continuity of that relationship or that household or that family. Many of us, when we look back over our lives, some of us, we have come out of abusive family situations. We have come out of dysfunctional domestic family situations, where there was fighting and there was chaos and there was anger and there was violence and maybe some situations where the police had to be called, and there was physical violence, and I mean different forms of abuse and all of these different things. And so where two visions exist, that creates a monster. So peace will be absent, and tension will always pretty much be present. Have you ever found yourself, if you came from an abusive atmosphere and an abusive environment, there are times when you can just walk into the house, walk into a room, and the tension is so thick. It is so, it is so ignited. There is frustration, there's irritation, there's aggravation, there's anger, jealousy, strife. And all these different works of the flesh, when they are demonstrated And when they are manifested more than the fruit of the Spirit, then the household or the family or that relationship is in trouble. You see, division is like an explosive that is used to implode a building. And many of us, we may have seen where demolition crews, they come in if they want to bring down an old building or something like that. Just maybe it has stood for a long time and they decided, well, we want to implode this building. Then they set explosive on the inside. And so division operates just like those explosives to implode a building. But the only thing is division, it implodes and destroys the family. It destroys the continuity of the family, the most beautiful, powerful unit that God created. And so when we look at what the Lord said, that a house divided against itself, it cannot stand. He knew the Pharisees' thoughts. Let us look at this in the context of today. When we look at our mindset and we look at the things that are very divisive, things that create division, things that create disunity, things that pull relationships apart. When we look at the intentions of our mind, when we look at the things that go on with our mindset that cause negative over the positive, then that represents division. And the Lord, He instructs us, let there be no divisions among you. No divisions amongst us. Because God our Father, He already knows when there is divisions amongst us, then the health of the relationship, it cannot grow. The success of the relationship, it cannot succeed. Whether it is within our private families, it is within a business, wherein it's your work family, whether it is within the house of God. Wherever there is division, then it creates chaos. It creates strife like a wildfire. Division is like an arsonist. It starts things and it ignites things. And if we are not careful, division will destroy everything that you and I have. So may this devotional be a blessing to you. May it encourage you. Let there be no divisions amongst us, because God wants us to operate on one accord in His unity. May God bless you and have an awesome day.